Welcome to the Mind Shift podcast. Join Rocio Perez, your mental performance strategist, as she navigates you through inspiring journeys with global experts. Explore breakthrough insights and awaken the potential within you wherever you are in life. Get ready to transform your personal growth. Here's Rocio to guide you.
Hello, everyone. We have an extraordinary guest, T. Crane, and we were just having the behind the scenes conversation where we're talking about like our credentials, our suffering is our credentials, right? When we think about credentials, everybody's thinking about like, hey, do I have an MBA? Do I have a PhD? What do I have? When in reality, our suffering is our credentials. So I'm looking forward to our rich talk. Well, welcome to the show, T.
Hello. Thank you, Rocio, for having me on.
Thank you so much, Nati. We've known each other for some time, and we've been through some life journeys and life experiences that have really enhanced the work that we get to do, that we're privileged to do today. Tell me about your journey and why did we start with our suffering as our credential to guide people?
Yeah, it's I had a teacher named Greg Moores, and
Mm,
I actually went to Colorado and studied with him, and we became very good friends. And he's a former monk, so he's got
mhm,
similar ideas to me. I'm very into the Zen world, and so we had great conversations. And he was the one that told me, "Your suffering is your credential." That's what gives you the right to talk about how you got through, how you healed yourself. You can have as many degrees as you want, but unless you've actually experienced this stuff, you don't really have the wherewithal or the place to talk about it. So that locked into the back of my head. And then I went through a period in my life where everything fell apart. My mother died, my marriage broke
mm,
up, just my dog died. It was just one thing after the other.
mhm,
I was released from the career job that I had. I thought I was
mm,
going to be there for the rest of my life, but they eliminated my position. So I found myself at an awkward age where nobody wants to hire you with all this other stuff going on. And quite frankly, it almost took me out. I just didn't
mm,
know how I could get through this. And I ended up fortunately house sitting a place, and then that guy moved out and I took it over, and it was a beautiful little old apartment in Chinatown that the
mm,
landlord liked me, so it was cheap. And it was across the street from a park the kids played in, so I heard kids playing all day. And I still had trouble trying to make money. I couldn't
mm,
seem to get anything going financially. I barely made enough to pay my rent. And I remember there was one day where I had no heat on in the place, so I had the gas stove going and the oven going, and it was open, and I just fell to my knees and
mm.
cried. I was like,
Wow.
I'm too old for this nonsense again. Like, how is this happening to me? And Greg Moore's voice popped into my head. Your credentials are your suffering. And I went, oh, okay.
Mm,
So what tools do I have that I can begin transitioning this emotional state? And what I began doing was writing down everything I was doing to feel better and to feel more focused. And I just kept a really, like I had a stack of notebooks like that. I kept really intense notes, being a Virgo and a little bit OCD,
mhm,
about everything that I was applying and what worked and what didn't work and what I changed and what I came up with. I was having dreams about tools, and I would get up and I'd
mm,
write them down and I would put them into play. And what I ended up doing was developing a program that had 8 basic tools. And
mm.
when I used them, I felt better and everything began to get better for me. There was more
Wow.
light. I began to generate capital again from the weirdest of places, and opportunities started coming to me. And I thought, I have to share this with other people that are in the same state I was, because that really hurt. Like, I don't want anybody
Mm.
to go through that.
It's painful. Yes.
Really hurt. And so I just put word out there with some people that I knew, hey, would you mind trying this program and let me know what you think? And they were quite amazed by it, and they shared it with all of their people. And I started to gain clients. teaching them this program called vertical living. And the
Mm,
idea of vertical living was living deeply into each moment instead of the way we spread ourselves thin. Drink in each moment as fully as you can. So from that, I took my pain and I transitioned it into this program that I sold for years
mm,
and taught people like over 1,000 people over the course of
mhm.
years. And
Wow.
yeah, I mean, it's not a huge number, but it was a big number for me because I work one-on-one at the time.
And that's really powerful because when we find ourselves in places, in those deep, dark places, and we've all been there. I remember for me, around the time that we met, I had a brain tumor. It changed my whole life.
Mm,
Everything changed in an instant. And with that being said, it's like, oh, what is it? What is it? And then running around in the personal development world and trying to find, like, give me a solution, give me a solution. Finally discovered that it was inside of me. The
mm.
solution was always inside of me.
Yeah.
And I developed a model. I became obsessed with helping people find their own way. I didn't have a solution. I would tell them. That was the first thing. And I've been saying that since I was 25 years old. I know nothing because
Mhm.
I don't. I know
Yeah.
nothing about that person. You are with you 24/7,
Right.
all 86,000 seconds of the day.
Yeah.
Everything, it's all about you, not about me.
Yeah.
And that's the beauty where I get to see people. So as you continue to move on, that our credentials are, that suffering is our credentials, that we're not seeking
Mm,
something outside of us, because if we keep on seeking a credential, that life is almost putting this silver stamp on there saying, okay, here's a CONT. They're worthy of doing this. No, you've been through life. You have skills and you have those moments that we are blessed, right? We are blessed in those moments where we come to our knees or get smacked upside the head that we some health outcome. And for me, that's what it was. I'm like, okay, life was perfect
mm.
and yet I wasn't fulfilled. Right. Then I found my purpose, to how do I create myself from anew?
The F word, fulfilled. Yeah.
I know that word, like so many people are unfulfilled in their careers, in their lives.
We keep
It's
doing
living a
things we
life
don't
by
want to
intention.
do. I don't know why we keep doing that.
Because it's very familiar, wouldn't you say? It's very familiar just to continue. I was just having a conversation before today's interview, and the person saying the same thing. I don't know why I keep on doing this. And then it becomes like first it's hours and then days and then months and then years and then decades that we've been doing the very same thing that we don't want to be doing, yet we keep on doing that very same thing.
Yeah.
So we already know what it is that's important for us to undo, right? Because we must start to stop doing, stop doing, and start doing, start doing, start doing. And they almost go hand in hand. Stop here, do here, stop here, do here, stop here, do here, and keep on moving forward with that.
Yeah, you got to sift through all of the stuff, all the nonsense. And in there, you'll find some gold nuggets. So it really is a process of filtering through all the stuff that life throws at you. One of the reasons I worked one-on-one with people is because everybody's different. So the
Hmm.
tool's applicable, but my role as a coach and trainer was to find out how this tool is going to fit in with who you are. So you brought
Hmm.
that up. It's like, yeah, every person is different, but those tools still work as long as they're framed in the proper way for you to go, oh, I could do that. And
Hmm.
all of that is applicable across the board. We
Hmm.
just need our life to be framed, and figuring out how to frame it for yourself is the way where you want to get to. And a good coach can help you with that,
Hmm.
like yourself and so forth, that
Yes.
somebody to understanding themselves, seeing themselves, and knowing how they want to receive information.
What is the one thing that you wish people knew about their suffering being their credential that just keeps on coming up over and over again?
Hmm. When I noticed that something that happened in my past that I thought was the end of my world, and yet I was still here, I went, okay, there's not really anything to be afraid of because I'm gonna end up here, even though I'm here right now. So it hurts, but it will lead to something else. There's that
Mhm.
saying, when one door closes, another one opens. And the addendum to that is, but it's the hallways that are a real bitch.
Mm. Well, okay. It takes something to get through that, right? Especially those
Exactly. You got
moments
to
when
go through
the
that
hallway
hallway.
is, especially when it's dark,
Yeah.
that you're wondering. Yeah, I've
But
had those
have faith
moments.
that there is a door opening for you. Just keep going,
Hmm.
and that's been echoed throughout history by a lot of different people. I think Winston Churchill had a good way of putting it. When you find yourself in hell, keep going.
Right? You're eventually going to walk yourself out of it.
How many of us stop and go, oh my gosh, how do I deal with this?
We even freeze. We don't even know what those patterns are. Some of us are flighting, some of us are freezing, some of us are dissociating, some of us are numbing ourselves, some of us are resigned, and we just keep going. We just keep more of the resignation going through our life experience. And we're like, okay, just kind of ignore that. It's not going away, right? You know, if you're in the mud, find a way to get out. Find a
Yeah,
way to get out. And, I found myself numb in many different instances where I should have been fighting. I found myself fighting in moments that I should have been still, or listening, moments that I should have been empathetic to me and I was being empathetic to others. And I'm like,
it's a
okay, Rocio,
process.
what is it about this that we can move forward? But as we're coming down to the end of our interview, what is something that you'd like to share with our audience that is important for them to know about themselves?
Well, I'm I'm really a huge proponent of being kind to yourself
Mm,
because it's so easy to lose your temper with yourself, to get mad at yourself. I know how many of your listeners find themselves going, "Oh, that was so stupid. Why did I do that?" Blah blah blah. Go,
did
look,
I
I'm
do
a
that for the
human.
10th time?
Yeah, it's okay, rise above. And you're going to learn more if you're calm and you're humorous about it than you are if you're uptight and really, beating yourself up over it. So enjoy your life with a bit of a touch of humor. It might just be a hallway you're in, but remember, there's a door down there that you can go through.
Mhm.
So give yourself a little slack. Enjoy the process. It is your life. And there's going to be ups and downs. If you're down, know you're going to be up again. And if you're up, a pretty good chance you'll be down again. So just ride the roller coaster and, you know, go easy on yourself.
Love it. I love it. And especially ride the roller coaster intentionally. You know
Mhm.
you're on the roller coaster as opposed to putting yourself on an additional roller coaster when you're on the roller coaster. We already have the roller coaster of life, getting to know self, getting to connect with self, getting to embrace the beauty, everything that we come with into this world, the good, the bad, the ugly, life itself
Yeah.
of what it becomes.
Yeah.
Dee, thank you so much for being on today's show. I'm looking forward to seeing you on future shows and for you to
Yeah.
continue to contribute your magic.
Well, thank you so much for including me in this. Time just flies when we start talking. I really enjoy that. Yeah.
It does. It's fast and it's amazing how many tips we can cover into that. And to our listeners, there's a lot of things that you can reach out for help and support. One of them is getting to know yourself even deeper, because as we get to know ourselves deeper, we start to have results tenfold in ways that we could have never imagined. We become who were meant to be as a result of that. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you for joining us today on the Mindshift podcast. Rocio hopes you've been inspired and gained insights to fuel your journey of personal growth. Remember to subscribe and share this episode with friends who are also exploring their potential. Leave us a review to help spread the message. Rocio says, stay curious, stay inspired, and keep exploring your potential with us. Until next time, goodbye.